you need to every single day move in some way to have the energy to be an entrepreneur because it does take a ton of energy, focus, creativity. So you do need to take care of yourself.
This podcast encourages and empowers you to create your own unique real story, develop your own unique real statement, and discover your own unique real self. The power is yours. Good afternoon, Erica Duran. Ooh. Previously, episode 122 of the 12-Minute Convos podcast. It's been just 2 years, 7 months, 8 days, and 30 minutes since we last spoke.
I get clients randomly finding me on the internet all the time and have a client relationship, but also become lifelong friends as well because I'm helping them through their initial stages in their business and putting everything together for them.
That was then. This is now. Erica, it's such a great pleasure again to connect with you. How are you doing, my friend?
I'm great. It's so great to be back. I wonder how the questions will go differently this time, and let's see what comes out.
Yeah, the last time my questions were pretty scripted. They helped me get down to each person to make sure each person isn't similar. What you did was you were a traveling entrepreneur. Are you doing that still?
I am. I just got back from Kauai. We were there about a month. And then I'm picking up my dogs right now near Las Vegas from my mother. And then I'm going to be in Scottsdale for about 6 months
Wow.
coming up next week.
Now, when we spoke, I didn't ask this, but now I wonder after going through the US, what state were you originally from?
California.
Okay.
Yeah.
So all the way west, and then you're all over the world, right? You've been all over the world. How does it feel? How is this impacting you now in hindsight?
Yeah, it's brought a lot of perspective. And I guess the biggest impact is just being a really, really hardcore minimalist. I mean, everything I own literally fits in my new Jeep. You pick up stuff here and there, and then every time you have to move to the next spot, it's like another cleansing of stuff.
Yeah. I experienced that. When we were out on the road, it's all right, if we pick up 2 things in every state and we're going across 48 states, that's 96 things, right? So, and we're still in one place. We're not hitching the plane, right? We're not doing that. So, I can well imagine. How do you think it's affected you mentally from the perspective of being a super minimalist? You should have the word super minimalist.
Super. Well, I actually use the hashtag a lot, minimalist luxury, because I do like nice things. I just don't want a whole lot of them. So I did claim that term, but it's just been a huge help because I was very much a collector, and I was very much a homemaker before when I was married, and I had the right napkins for the right season and the right sheets for the right, all the right things. They were labeled, but it was just a lot of stuff. And I think the biggest thing of becoming a minimalist over the years and getting more and more hardcore about it is, especially being an entrepreneur, it's just the focus. I mean, I'm able to focus on my work without distraction for the most part because there's nothing to take care of, there's nothing really to clean, there's nothing to research, there's nothing to shop for. When you think about owning stuff, it's just such a big part of people's lives, the maintenance and everything. It's just opened up so much time and clarity mentally and physically.
Yeah, let's talk about the entrepreneurial side of what you're bringing to the table, how you make money, right? Through this, just to bring our amazing audience up to speed.
Yeah, I'm still a business mentor and a lifestyle mentor. So I help people leave their 9 to 5 jobs from the very first day, exactly the steps they need to take, what they need to do in little chunks so that they can actually do it and not think it's so overwhelming or anything, to create their unique business system so they don't look and sound like everybody else online, and they're doing something they really enjoy. And a huge part that's lately, probably the last 2 years, before I was helping people with a lot of technical things and getting them literally set up with their systems. And I still do that, but now it's just such a lot of mindset work with people because as you probably know, that's like the ultimate thing that holds everyone back.
Mm.
So I'm constantly on WhatsApp with my clients, helping them out of their mindset spins and their fears so that they actually do what they want to do.
What ignited that for you? That perfect napkin person to doing what you did?
To leaving my corporate job and going into entrepreneurship.
Well, not just entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurship is cool. I mean, yeah, tons of people do that, but like you went into becoming the traveling entrepreneur, which is leaving not just your corporate job, but leaving your home. So, what was the ignition for you?
Yeah, it just the freedom. I was weighted down by the house and the stuff and the cars and the lawn maintenance and the everything. So I sold my house and a lot of my stuff to fund my first business, which was a professional organizer business. And it was just the desire to not be tied down to any one thing or any one place for too long. My stays in places keep getting longer and longer. I used to bump around a lot more, but yeah, usually about 6 months at a time.
Mm.
Hawaii is a little bit different because of my dogs, but it's just a desire to have different experiences and uh, I don't like that hole people get themselves into. I guess you could call it a rut where you're in this constant routine in the same place every day.
Mm.
I think it really stifles your creativity and your confidence, really. It's funny when you're going through life in your own town, in your own house, everything is so automatic. And when you're out somewhere that's not familiar, you have to stay present all the time to where things are and where you're going. You can't just drive anywhere on autopilot because it's new.
Yeah.
So I know a lot of people listening might be in their cars commuting, and you could basically drive home and not even think about it from your job. But it's just this constant forcing me to stay present in the present moment because you have to, not on alert, but you have to stay present to get around.
When you look back from now to then, making the decision, all that you've accomplished, do you have any regrets?
No, I don't because it always led to something better that I couldn't even see for myself. So I'm sure we can all say we have regrets and everything, but I think it ultimately everyone's on a different timeline, everyone's on a different schedule. So you can't really compare yourself to other people and how fast they grew their business or how they did this or that or how fast they got married. I've never had anything that hasn't been something better at the end of it.
How is your fitness going? Are you still keeping up with that?
I am, yeah. I'm glad this isn't a video because I just got back from running.
Oh, that's
I
great.
didn't have time to clean up yet, but yeah, I'm still very much every single day something, usually running, but moving every single day somehow, even if it's not full on running a half marathon or anything.
Hmm. That's great because it is a major part of what you do, right? Remaining healthy.
It is, and I'm lucky that my father, took me to the gym with him when I was 5, starting at 5, and it's just been instilled in me. And I know being an entrepreneur, it's very easy to go down the junk food route because of stress or because of time. And it's very easy to not go to your workout because you have an interview or you have a client situation or emergency. But you need to every single day move in some way to have the energy to be an entrepreneur because it does take a ton of energy, focus, creativity. So you do need to take care of yourself.
It's pretty cool to hear of the two gifts you were given by both parents. Your mother carrying you to Disney World. I think it was like every weekend you said, like at one time, and making dreams come true is what you said, right? And then the physical side with your father at an early age as well. You've gotten some really cool tools to take you through to the dreams that you're creating for yourself now.
Yeah, I was a only child, so my mom didn't really know what to do with me all the time on the weekends. So we lived close to Disneyland, and we went almost every weekend. We had annual passes I wasn't like wealthy or anything as a child, but we had an annual pass and we lived nearby and it wasn't that much money.
Yeah. Well, wealthy is a perception, isn't it?
Right.
Like,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's totally correct. Yeah, and then they both were massive list makers, my parents. So that led me to probably being a productivity expert for a couple years of online teaching time management productivity. I work way differently now, not with a to-do list. It's more about creating routines so you don't ever have to have a to-do list.
Yeah, it's like organic habits, isn't it?
Right, right.
Yeah, that's wonderful. All right, my friend. Well, I want to say thank you because it gives me great joy to be able to pick up the phone or the Skype thingy that we're doing and hear your voice and hear you saying that you are still following and being true to your own unique real self. And it is both motivational and inspirational. You are the foundation of the podcast now when listeners go in there. So it brings great joy to see that you're still doing, that you remain consistent with improving yourself. So thank you for that. In closing, my friend, is there anything else you'd like to share with our amazing audience?
No, I just love if anyone wants to reach out. I guess Instagram is the best place. It's Erica Duran INTL, and I'd love to connect with you there.
Love it. Erica, again, thank you for being on What is Inspired by 12-Minute Convos with Angel Jones. This podcast is produced by Pod Edits. Visit podedits.com for professional podcast publishing.